Let's turn our attention now to another major story we're tracking for you. U.S. President Donald Trump is demanding that Denmark and other European countries agree to his demand to take over Greenland or face stiffer tariffs. That threat has sparked a strong reaction from many of Greenland's supporters, including here at home, where dozens of people rallied in Nunavut's capital today in solidarity with the Greenlandic Inuit.
I'm from Greenland. I moved to Iqaluit in 1981. But I'm still Greenlandic, and my family lives in Greenland, and I want my friends and family to see that we support them.
Iqaluit is my motherland. My entire maternal family is Greenlandic, and I live on this side of Inuit Nunangad, and it's all one homeland. It's important for us to show up for our homeland.
Those are just some of the voices coming from Northern Canada on this issue. So while the protests continue, President Trump is now threatening to impose a new 10% tariff on products from several European countries if they continue to object to his plans to take over Greenland. That tariff would begin on February the 1st and would impact 8 countries, namely Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, Great Britain, the Netherlands, and Finland. Now, that tariff would rise to 25% come June the 1st if, once again, Trump's demands are still not met. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump justified his actions by claiming Greenland is needed for global security. Journalist Jagruti Dave has more.
Yes, these threats are a significant ramping up of the rhetoric from US President Donald Trump on his bid to acquire Greenland. He appears to have targeted these countries because they conducted joint military exercises last week following the meeting between officials from Greenland and Denmark at the White House with Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, and J.D. Vance, the Vice President. Donald Trump, in that Truth Social post, repeated his comments that world peace is at stake, saying that that Russia and China are wanting to acquire Greenland and that the US is the only person who can stop that from happening. He's also talked about the necessity for the US acquiring Greenland as part of its bid to get what he's calling the Golden Dome. This is a defense shield akin to Israel's Iron Dome that he says is, because of its geographical location, Greenland is necessary for the United States to get this dome. Now, this is all a significant ramping up of rhetoric against not only NATO allies potentially jeopardizing peace for the last 70 years, but also one of the US's largest trading partners, that is the European Union. And this is absolutely huge here in the United States because this whole bid to acquire Greenland has caused some divisions amongst Republicans. There was a delegation of senators, a bipartisan delegation that visited Denmark in a bid to show solidarity amongst Congress officials. One of those is Senator Lisa Murkowski. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Greenland needs to be viewed as our ally, not as an asset. And I think that's what you're hearing with this delegation.
Now, there are some Republicans who are downplaying the president's rhetoric of military action, saying this is merely a negotiating strategy. We know Donald Trump likes to use tariffs in order to push through foreign policy decisions that he would like. But there is polling that suggests the majority of Americans do not want the US to acquire through purchase or military action, Greenland. And of course, we're seeing protests happening in Denmark against the president's desire for Greenland, with people wearing red hats akin to the MAGA hats, which say, "Make America go away."
That report from journalist Jagruti Dave in Washington. Now, we are also hearing reaction from some of the countries who could be impacted by these new threats coming from the U.S. president. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said in a statement, quote, "Applying tariffs on allies for pursuing the collective security of NATO allies is completely wrong." And he added that they will be pursuing this directly with the U.S. administration. European Council President Antonio Costa has also responded, saying they stand firmly in defending international law in response to these new tariff threats and that he is coordinating a joint response.